Oh, the Christmas festival is finally here, guys. Of course, it's Jolly Marbles. So here you get every 15 marble bounces, it grants one of the following rewards in a sequence. So you can either get, like right now, I'm going to look at 5 mythic shards, 70 fire crystals, 70 or so, 100 XPs, 30. You can see this is obviously going to be really, really good. Now, of course, you might be wondering, well, how does this work? You basically tap and you see how this works. And then you roll it. Now, of course, the you only get a set number of marbles. You can obviously add the multiplier if you want to, and so like for example, we'll just go ahead and do it. And anytime you hit something, it's going to be 5. So like there, we got all 5, but we got a good chunk just like that. Now, of course, you may be thinking, well, then how do I get more marbles? Now, and of course, you've got a bunch of different options in here. And so, like any event, you'll have some daily logins for the marbles, and of course, the marble rally. And then, of course, there's also a pack. And for $5, you can get 2x on your marbles and everything. And then, of course, in the curiosity shop, out of all the items in here, they've got the crystal Christmas tree, which admittedly pretty cool. Like that is pretty slick, not gonna lie. Of course, they also have a frame, and of course, all the stuff that comes along with that. They also have some fire crystals up for grabs, and even mithril, which admittedly the cost for the mithril is pretty steep. But I think just based on what I see here, it looks to me like my go-to is probably going to be the fire crystals. Even though, yes, you can grab like a hero chests that are legendary. That's also a pretty good steal. I mean, between 15 and 50, though, I'm going to lean on probably getting the fire crystals here, in part because I just need them. And I need a lot of them. So, it's kind of one of those. Now, what would you rather have? 44 fire crystals, or would you rather have 10 pieces of legendary gear? I think the legendary gear is probably a better bet. Just in my experience, it's not as easy to come by. Of course, we do have any other 60 here, but again, that's what was hot for the day. We may just go ahead and save and see what else we can grab over time anyway. Now, of course, King of Frost is going on, so right now you can do Power Boost and basically go and take all of those recruitment shards. So if you do what I do, you've been saving your shards for a while. I've got about 98 or so we're just going to go ahead and use all 98. And what we get exactly, I have no idea. We're just going to go ahead and take whatever we can get here. But that's part of the benefit of stacking these guys. If you want my 2 cents, you should always be stacking these. Because for events like these, it's just an wonderful, wonderful use. Now, I know I could be doing use all, but I find it more entertaining to just kind of do them one at a time like that. But I know it's not for everybody, but that to me is it's satisfying. Like, otherwise I feel like I don't get enough out of the experience, Anyway, so we'll go ahead and use the last free one there, and then we'll go ahead and use the other 10, and go ahead and use the remaining of those keys. And so from there, we've got our points chest, we've got all of our stuff, and so we'll go and grab Sign In and Earn, go to the withdraw here and grab that. Of course, we can probably go into the Hall of Heroes here, we'll go and grab that. And conveniently, it's also Tundra Trading Station, so what we can do now is we can turn around and recycle all of those extra. Now, I don't want to get rid of all of them by any means, but I'm going to, I think, in part because I'm really kind of striving for the most amount of loot we can get possible. So we're just going to go ahead and recycle. I'm not even going to bother with books and such. I'm just going to go ahead and recycle. Take the maximum we can. And we will just make do with what we can get here. And we'll go ahead and, yes, I don't know, do I want to do that? No, I don't. I don't think I want to do that. It's probably a good thing it told me, hey, whoa, hold up. Alright, so, 9,000 left. I would say really about all I want out of this, probably the charm designs and the charm guides. And then with what I have left, I will put those probably over into enhancement. And then what remains out of that we'll use for resources. So, where's the Christmas party pack? So for $1, you can get some more marbles. And of course, in here, it looks like I need to go ahead and append 30 days. There we go. Go ahead and get her extra stiff. Go ahead and claim it. And then, of course, in the curiosity shop, we've got all those items. But yeah, now we've gotten ourselves quite a ways in the ranking already. Of course, it looks like we can gain some points from troop recruiting. And it looks like if we send heroes, we'll get points as well, and construction. So we'll just go ahead and kick off all of our training here. We'll go ahead and get all of that nice, wonderful stuff all carried over here real fast. And again, trying to not spend the entire day just doing these dailies, but again, I want to kind of get to the point so you guys can kind of see what exactly they've got in the store. But I mean, yeah, the main thing here is, of course, we do have Canyon Clash, there's Lance Mobilization, there's just a bunch of stuff going on all at once. Foundry, Alliance Championship, conveniently, I've always got to make sure to register, because I've got this terrible habit of not doing that. And I don't even put any thought into it. As you can tell, I just kind of sign up these days. But yeah, so in any case, I'll grab our daily deals here. You might notice that it's arrived. So we've got Edith, and of course, if you don't know what Edith is, it's basically an infantry, a tank, basically. So there's some substantial bonuses that come with getting Edith, and again, that's $5. And I don't know, you can grab some of the weekly packs and such. Again, none of this stuff I'm going to be terribly picky for right now. I'm just not looking into it that crazy amount, but as you might imagine, this is going to be kind of a spender's paradise for the next couple of days, probably, more than likely. But for what we're getting out of it, that's really about all that matters. Ultimately, I'm going to be getting the new. So, I mean, yeah, so you got Bradley, which, as you might imagine, kind of an interesting guy. Does Lancer infantry up and down. And, of course, getting in is going to be through Lucky Will. Then you've got Gordon, which, if you're wondering, that guy, he's pretty much going to do damage up and down. And you can see there's just a lot of different little things. But again, this guy's coming straight out of Foundry. And then there's Edith. And Edith is, King of Ice Build, Hall of Chiefs, that sort of thing. And then you've got damage taken down, damage up. So, kind of across the board healer, which is to be expected from an infantry hero. So, with these new-ish heroes on the pipeline on Gen 8, that's kind of where I'm at least in the server timeline. So, for a lot of the people that have been in Gen 8, you probably already, oh, well, welcome. But either way, guys, pretty much with that in mind, though, the biggest thing to get out of this whole thing, though, is basically in the marble department, right? So you can do a 10x, you can do a 20x. Now, the thing about the 20x, let's say you just accidentally hit this. And a 20x, you're going to get a crazy amount. Now, I will point out that, okay, if I do it straight in the center, you'll see what happens. You kind of get a little bit all over the place. But that's the advantage of doing it that way as opposed to doing one at a time. Now, if you go on the end, you're going to see that a lot of the time you're not going to get what you're after. So I would usually stick with the first 3 in the center just for the best results. At least in my experience, that seems to be how it goes a lot of the time. So, of course, now to hit that mystery 45k, you're going to need a substantial number of marbles. And really about the only other way I can see a person doing that is you either go through the pack, which, there's obviously probably a fair bit of money that can be thrown into that to get to that point, or you can just kind of play your cards and get lucky. That said, though, that is pretty much the event. And that's pretty much everything that I can see, at least from what I know so far. I mean, if anything, the King of Frost event, you've got Beast Slay tomorrow. Then you've got hero development. And after that, you have training troops. Then you have hero gear, gathering resources, and then chief gear. So there's not a lot of time left. With only 5 hours on the clock, if you do watch this video, you better want to get on it while you still can, because they do have a opportunity for you to basically go through and upgrade your heroes. So if you're like me and you've been saving shards, well, I'm going to take this opportunity to go ahead and just redeem and get this hero upgraded. So we'll go ahead and get a 90 or so shards done there. And then with the remaining shards that I have here, we will go ahead and redeem the existing 80 to get Lynn up another star. And then I could almost get her again, but that's okay. I mean, not a big deal in the grand scheme of things, really. Because ultimately what that does for us is in the event, we just gained another million, and that puts us at rank 6, so we're way, way closer than we were. And of course, in any of these packages, you can get marbles. So the trick is to basically try and do these as much as you can. There is a catch, which is that you gotta buy a pack to fully unlock this thing. The top-up benefits, they've got this March skin, which is basically a reindeer sleigh, which is kind of cool. But otherwise, really about the only other thing that, a person can see out of this event, really, is the big skin being the biggest selling point, I think, for the entire event. But in any case, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.